Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and today is the start of my Books in Bloom reading vlog. Good morning, happy Monday, and happy day one of Books in Bloom. So in case you missed it, Books in Bloom is my flower and plant themed readathon. It may be too late to join by the time you're seeing this, but I will link the announcement video up in the cards just in case. This is going to be running Monday, April 6th through Sunday, April 19th, full 2 weeks, and we are ready to start today. So we have 12 reading challenges and we have 5 main reading challenges for our story graph, which is a free app where you can track your reading stats. It gives us like a little graph that you can fill in. And so instead of making it so that you guys would have unfinished graphs if you chose not to do all the reading challenges, I picked 5 main ones that I thought would be the easiest to hit and also the easiest to combine with other ones. So if you only want to read like 1 or 2 books, you can combine as many of the challenges as you want to. So I have all the links for all of this down below in the description. I, of course, am going to try to hit as many as I can, but I have been a little bit sluggish this reading year, been a little bit slow going. I've read the least amount for the readathons that I have ever read since we started doing them. I've not been feeling the best the first beginning part of the year, but I'm doing a little bit better now, and I am so excited for this readathon because last year this brought me so much joy and happiness and kind of like restored parts of my soul. I will link last year's reading vlog as well because you guys should go check it out if you enjoy this kind of thing. I just had the best time reading. I had such good books that I read, like some all-time favorites. I went all these places and showed flowers, and you can kind of see me like coming back to life. So I'm hoping we will have that again this year. I just posted my TBR video today, the latest I've ever posted TBR video. I have 5 main books on that video. They're behind me here because I took a picture yesterday, but I am not sure which one I'm going to start. As usual, I'm going to listen to the first couple minutes of each and figure out which one I want to start. I'm torn because I usually like to do one that is shorter that I can get close to finishing on day one. Today is one of the only days I don't work from home, but I'm able to listen to audiobooks. However, the short ones that I have, I feel like are going to be kind of twisty and fun to talk about. And so I want to be able to stop them and come and talk to the camera, which I won't be able to do at work. So I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet. Also, I have the free will to pick something outside of these 5 if something really grabs my attention, at least for today. I think I read 5 books for Randomathon and 3 for Galaxy-a-thon, but I read a couple large ones for Galaxy. So we're hoping to at least beat that. I'm very excited about all the books that I have planned. This week the vlogs should be good as well because we're going to film some nature trails with some flowers, some garden centers, and have some other fun activities too. I'll check in with you guys when I get home and update you on which audiobooks I am picking. I think I'm going to take you around my parents' property and show you some of the flowers that are currently blooming. It may be slightly different than last year because we had a big heat wave in like into February, March. Like we were like 90 degrees, so things kind of bloomed earlier than normal. There may be some fun things to see, so I'm gonna take you guys around and do that. I've got my flower shirt. This is becoming my official Books in Bloom shirt. So I'm ready to go, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, it's a little dark, but these are the TBR books that I have for the week. I've been putting them and decorating the mantle for each readathon. So I don't have everything in yet, but I have like always like a large selection to choose from. I've got a flower teapot, candles, some more flower themed books, just lots of things to choose from. Hey guys, I'm back. It's 6:30 p.m. I came home and I kind of chilled for a minute and made some dinner. I had a really good work day overall. Hope you enjoyed seeing the flowers and things at my parents' house. I'm going to go a little bit more thoroughly next time I go over there, but I chose this one today. So this is a botanist's guide to parties and poison because this was an 8-hour audio and I knew I could get most of the way through it, but also I didn't think that there would be any major twists and turns or like super film worthy moments where I would want to stop and talk to you, and I was correct. I'm really enjoying it so far. It is very much reminding me of Veronica Speedwell, which I am in the middle of reading through this series. It's set in the 20s, but it doesn't have that 1920s vibe that we're used to with like the speakeasies and the flapper dresses and the, I don't know, just like the quintessential 1920s. It feels way more Victorian to me because some of those things were still lingering. They're having tea time, they're having proper society discussions. This is the first in a huge series, by the way, which I did not know when I started it. I thought there were only 3 books, but apparently we're on like book number 6. So this is the newly minted research assistant Saffron Everleigh is determined to blaze a new trail at the University College London. But with her colleagues' beliefs about women's academic inabilities and not so subtle hints that her deceased father's reputation paved her way into the botany department, feels stymied at every turn. When she attends a dinner party for the school, she expects to engage in conversation about the university's large expedition to the Amazon. What she doesn't expect is for Mrs. Henry, one of the professor's wives, to drop to the floor poisoned by an unknown toxin. Dr. Maxwell, Saffron's mentor, is the main suspect, and the evidence quickly mounts, joined by fellow researcher and potential romantic interest Alexander Ashton. So her mentor has this kind of garden botany lab, and he has these vines that he brought back from Africa, and they believe that he poisoned her with them. They don't have a lot of proof, but they think that's what's going on, and so she is trying to prove his innocence. So not a murder mystery, but the same kind of a vibe. There's a lot to do with plants because she's a botanist. This hits 6 of the reading prompts because there is a vine on the cover, flower on the cover, main character's name is a flower, set in the springtime, a couple other things too. Like, it's such a good one for the readathon, so I'm really having a nice time with it. There's a cute little romantic love interest. It's very much giving me those like proper society, but with a strong female who's making way in her field and having to fight against stigmas, and then like a strong, somewhat sensitive, snarky love interest that is just enamored with her, and I'm really enjoying it. That's not the main plot, but I'm enjoying it so far. Definitely if you like Veronica Speedwell or even like the Wisteria Society, those types of things, I think you're gonna like this one. So I've got an hour left. I'm gonna try to finish this tonight, but I may just stop and try to physically read. I'm not sure yet. So I'm not sure what I'm physically reading because I have audiobooks for almost all of the books. I know that I'm gonna try to do a nonfiction book. I'm not gonna try to push too hard just because my reading has been very sluggish this year, so I don't want to overwhelm myself, but right now I'm feeling like happy and inspired and I really want to read. So we're gonna pick something hopefully to physically read. I have not finished a physical book yet this year, so fingers crossed for me. I did get my March fairy loot today, finally. I have been trying to guess what the books are. I think this is This Hidden Fire or This Hidden Air or something like that, based on the prompts, which I'm excited for. So I get the young adult subscription box with the book and the goodies from Fairy Loot. So this is the card. It will have all the information about everything, so we'll check that out in a minute. Ooh, looks like I got a book sleeve, and you know I love book sleeves. So these are great for bringing your book places, obviously. Taking pictures with. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, this is a e-reader sleeve. I was gonna say it looks kind of small. Oh, that's cool. I don't have one with a zipper. TKATM e-reader. I'm not sure. The Night and the Moth, I think, is what the acronym is. So I do have like a little ebook reader that I can put in this. This is really nice. Obviously I like the regular book sleeves as well for like carrying books places, protecting them, traveling, all kinds of stuff, but pictures as well. I haven't read The Night and the Moth yet. Air of Storms embroidery kit, which is another book I got from Fairy Loot last year. I have so many of these. I need to finally do one. I haven't embroidered since I was like 8 years old. Oh, cool. Caraval foiled bookmarks. Wow, these are going to be such a big hit. One of my favorite series of all time. So beautiful. I never know if I should like laminate these to keep them safe, but then they kind of won't be like the same texture and as shiny. I need to like display them or something. So beautiful. In Immortal Consequences notepad, monthly memos. Oh, this is nice. I love this style. Just like a monthly memo pad. Maybe I'll use this for videos. This is very cool. So you can put the dates in yourself. That's really neat. Immortal Consequences was one of the book picks last year and I really enjoyed it, but I need to reread it because it was due back on Libby and I had to listen to the last like 3 hours on 3 speed, and there was so much detail in that one that I didn't take it all in, so I feel like I didn't didn't give it a fair go. So I need to reread before the sequel comes out. Okay, then we have the bookmark, the tarot cards which go with the book. And I was correct. Oh, it looks so pretty, except I got the name wrong. So it's Her Hidden Fire. So this is the regular cover, which is okay, not my favorite. Look how beautiful. Fairy Loot does some of the most beautiful books. These edges, oh my gosh, with the little cottage. What? And a little dragon flying over the cottage. That's so cool. In pages. This is the reverse dust jacket, so pretty similar to the original cover design. Then the naked book. It's so freaking pretty. Okay, so in this one, welcome to Damhan, a world where dragons soar the skies and elite families wield magical powers. The ruling family of Almskeep is on knife's edge. Heir apparent Ionin must show that he can channel magic or they will be cast out and replaced. Then Iyad, a servant girl who loves Ainan, discovers she can draw power herself. This puts her in grave danger. It's extremely rare for a girl to have this talent, especially outside the great families. Definitely going to be a romantasy and dragons, and it sounds very cool. Okay, I think that's going to be it for me for today. Not a ton of extra bee footage because I worked outside of the house, but we're going to do some fun stuff over the course of the week and of course read some more books. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Books in Bloom Day 2. It is 4 p.m. I had quite the day of work and just like cleaning and getting the house set up. I listened to a podcast earlier, but I did finish The Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons. I really enjoyed this. My only issue with it is at the end, there's something treacherous that happens to our main characters, and it was slightly darker than I expected it to be for the tone of the book. And nothing actually like really happened, but I was kind of like, oh. So I really liked this. It very much reminds me of Veronica Speedwell, but just with a slightly more advanced time period. Historical fiction, mystery vibes, a little bit of romance, and lots of botany. So I'll definitely be continuing on with the series. I think this one I'm going to give a 3.75, and this one works for 6 different reading challenges, but as of right now we're going to mark it off for the poisonous plants reading challenge because that's what I had it like designated for. 1 book down, and then I'm like 10 minutes into Predatory Natures by Amy Goldsmith, another book that was on my main TBR. I'm so proud of myself. So this one is so interesting and unique sounding. I read Amy's Those We Drown book 2 years ago, was like her debut, and it was like on a cruise ship, and there was like this school, and then there was like kind of mermaidy vibes, like dark magical things happening. I didn't fully love the ending, but it was just so intriguing and different. So I'm very excited for this one. Okay, so in this one we are following Lara Williams. She gets a summer job aboard a luxury train called the Baneberry. She thinks she's landed a 5-star escape from her past, even after she learns that her ex-friend Rise, who she definitely did not have feelings for before the relationship imploded, is one of her co-workers. She's determined to make things work. But on the first day of their journey, the trip takes a strange turn. 2 mysterious carriages filled with an array of beautiful and rare plants are attached to the Baneberry in the middle of the night, and with them comes a pair of siblings. Wealthy, mysterious, and charismatic Gwydion claim the plants they're transporting are for research, but Lara can't shake the feeling that there's something otherworldly about the strange blooms. I'm not sure if they're going to be like aliens or sentient, but it sounds very, very cool. I love this cover. So this is my next read because a friend of mine started it and she's about 30% of the way in, which would be around 50 pages. So I'm going to catch up to where she is because we're going to kind of do a buddy read, or I'm going to attempt to. So I'm not going to like binge through this one. I'm just going to catch up to her and then kind of keep up with her. Fingers crossed that I don't derail myself by starting more than one book. So whenever I catch up to her, I'm going to switch to a different book, and so we'll have a lot going on. I haven't started anything physical yet. Now I'm going to take you outside, give you a tour of the garden, and I'm going to start doing my gardening work for the day until I get hungry, which will probably be pretty soon because I tend to eat dinner pretty early. I kept thinking, because I was feeling so bad in January and February and March, that I was so behind on the garden because we can start things really early here in California, and I was just like, I'm so behind because of all these different things. And then I looked at a picture of this time last year and I'm actually like way ahead of last year. So I think it was because we had like these 90-degree weeks at like the beginning of March, and it made me feel like spring and summer were here already, when in reality, like last year it would have been like in the 60s. And so I'm actually way ahead, which is awesome, and I want to keep that momentum going because I have a lot of weeds to pull, and I always pull, like there's an entire section of my garden that is where all my main garden beds are, and I always get all the weeds and everything done over there. And then there's a section at the back of our house that has a hill, and there's like a couple fruit trees, and I always get like a portion of it done, and then I peter out and I never get it finished. So I want to finish it this year so it looks all nice, and I need to plant some more things and just clean up the backyard and everything. Jeff's brother and wife and kids are coming in town this weekend, and they may be coming over to the house, so I'm just trying to like extra clean up. I'm not sure that they will because they're going to be near Disneyland, which is like an hour and a half away, and I don't know that it's worth it for them to come all the way here, but we're definitely going to go see them. But I'm going to clean like just in case, so I'm not surprised. So I'm going to take you around, give you a tour, show you everything that's happening, and then do some work out there while I listen to my audio. So I have this table, found this like wooden spool, and I used it for my pirate Halloween party, and I just kept it. And I've been putting plants that like need to be planted next, or that I'm taking to my garden swap. We've got raspberries and strawberries and roses and a banana tree. And then this section I'm kind of building up. There's a big banana tree. He's looking really good. Some dahlias that haven't come up yet, some roses and some other flowers, pineapple. And then we start on the outer edge is our strawberry wall. I've only gotten like 1 or 2 so far. Got some green onions starting to come up in here as well. There's one that's like partially ripe. Some parsley that's a little worse for wear. Lemon thyme. I just like re-fertilized all of this stuff. And then we still have nasturtiums growing everywhere. This flower self-seeds really well. The bees love it. They're beautiful, but it's also really easy to get rid of, and it dies back in the heat. So I just kind of let it take over because it's good for shade and pollinators and stuff. So I have a big strawberry bed here that we made out of an old fire pit. My blueberries are starting to come in, so I need to come pick these for the day. Amidst all the nasturtiums, I have I think this is a boysenberry. I've been wanting to get rid of it though because this is one of my only ones that has thorn. However, it's making boysenberries, so we might wait till after harvest. Give it to somebody. I've got a very sad looking palm tree, another banana tree back here. Then I have some honeyberries. I haven't gotten any from these yet. This is a blueberry called a berry bucks. It's supposed to be like really condensed blueberries. I haven't gotten any from that. I got it last year. Bushel and berry raspberry, and then plants that I need to do stuff with over here. My pile of compost. Let's go back. We got a ripe strawberry there. This bed I have not planted yet. It just has 1 flower left over from last year. I need to reset this. This bed is mostly planted. So I have zucchinis, cucumbers, onions, and a couple of lettuces. And then this is like a big squash. It's called the tromboncino, I think. Then this bed is onions, lettuce, zucchini, an eggplant. That's pretty much it. More onions, more zucchini, and green beans over here that are coming up. This bed, I have some peppers that lasted the winter. I've got 3, I think, blackberry bushes. These are the bushel and berry, so they don't get huge and they don't have spikes on them. I've got them in kind of random spots over here. And then I planted some more onions and some seeds for cucumbers and spaghetti squash and stuff, but it hasn't like popped up yet. This is my donut peach tree. We bought a bare root one, so it hasn't gotten any leaves yet. I'm hoping it's not dead. They go dormant and then they sell them like this. I'm hoping this isn't dead, but it's got like little blooms on it. But it's been in the pot for like a week. And then I've got more blackberries, honeyberries, more raspberries. This we need to fix. This we need to trim. I have a tree I need to plant. See, this one's got leaves on it already and it's not even planted. This is an apple, so I'm hoping that other one's not dead. A huge rose bush. So my main task today is I'm going to clean out the weeds and trim back this birds of paradise. We've got a tomato, cucumber, cucamelons, more cucamelons, more cucumbers, a really good looking eggplant. This is a Mexican ground cherry. I trimmed it back so it's not looking the best, but there's like a wild one growing in my pathway and I'm just letting it because it is filled with fruit already. First tomato bed, I have tomatoes and marigolds in there. More tomatoes and marigolds, and we already have, this plant is actually from last year and we've already got some tomatoes coming in, and then I need to reset this one. I haven't decided if I want to do more tomatoes or not, but we got to pull weeds over here. It's crazy. So this section, the only thing I have left weed wise is just around this tree and to trim that. And then I have this section here. These are all my herbs. They're getting ready to come up. I've got mint, oregano, catnip, lemon thyme, the sage looking really good, lemon balm, some holy basil that apparently the bugs already got to, so I need to put some stuff down. More catnip. I use this as tea. It's really good for anxiety. More mint, roses. I have started the weeds up here, but I need to pull like all of this. This bed up here has some stuff in it. We have an apricot tree. I haven't gotten his blooms yet. And then there's like, then this is the culprit where I always kind of stop pulling weeds right here, and I need to like continue because they're out of control. And I have like a guava and a plum and some things up here. But look at the nasturtiums over here. I need them to take over so that I have this instead of like this horrible weed. Beautiful. They're taking over Jeff's shed. It's not the happiest, but they'll die back once it's hot. And over here, they're everywhere. This is another area where I plant tomatoes and blackberries, but I'm just letting the nasturtiums take over until I'm ready. And then we have the buckets, and I've reset the first half and this one, but I need to do the rest. So we've got a lot of work to do, but it's only April, so we're doing pretty good. Okay, I have my clover and moss candle going. I'm getting ready to do some red light therapy, start my nonfiction book, and then I'm going through this stack of books to see if any of them are going to work for my physical read. So that's the chaos of tonight. Hey guys, happy Books in Bloom day 3. Okay, so it's actually day 4 and I didn't get a chance to check in yesterday, but I wanted to share some clips of some things that I did. I went on a nice little walk to hunt for wisteria because I wanted to take a picture with my book. There's this spot that has this beautiful wisteria vine, but I kind of had a suspicion, and I was correct, that it had already bloomed and finished. It was like a week earlier than last year, or maybe 2 weeks earlier because of that big heat wave I talked about. So unfortunately there was like one tiny little blossom, but we got some other pictures and things of the place that I went. And then I went to Home Depot and I took video and pictures of all the flowers there. So I want to show you all of that now. So now, a happy day 4 of Books in Bloom. Alright, so it's Thursday morning at 9 a.m. I am like ready and up and already chatting with you guys. I have quite a few reading updates to do. So I am halfway through Predatory Natures. Like I said, I'm using this to kind of keep up with my friend. I am actually loving it. There are 2 mysteries in here. I'm loving the train setting. I'm loving that there's a lot of botanical flower, like horror mystery stuff going on. It's definitely got those spooky vibes. It's somewhat similar to those we drowned because of the train setting, and then she has like a friend that she's working with on the train. There's some love interest. I'm not really sure entirely where it's gonna go, so that's kind of exciting, but I'm having such a good time with it and I'm so excited. And then yesterday I started another audio after I got caught up to where my friend was. So I'm doing What We Harvest. This one is about this blight that takes over these farmlands in this area. It's a very mysterious blight. So it like kills the plants or changes them and makes them like rot and mold. And it seems to be turning the people and the animals into zombies. They haven't like flat out said that, just calling them something else. They're turning kind of into monsters and then like running away to go and live in the woods, and there's like the government's trying to do something about it but not really. So people are trying to like keep the blight out of their fields and off of their farms and like out of their systems. And we're starting the book and our main character has this mysterious like wheat farm where they have this kind of special wheat that grows and it turns like a rainbow of colors. And then when you make like bread with it, they could make like bread that are all different types of colors. And people have tried to like steal the wheat seed and grow it their own and it won't work for them. And then like her neighbor has like these melons that help, I think, cure anxiety and depression, and like nobody else can grow them. And her other neighbor has these horses and dogs that are like more powerful and strong than others. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I know there's like a zombie-ish element, but I'm like, is there like an alien element? Is there like a fae element? I don't know. But it started out so intense and fast-paced. Our main character, literally in like the first chapter, finds the blight in this wheat field and she's trying to pull out all the blight and like get rid of all of the bad dirt and everything. And then she like somehow gets it like in her system and she feels like she might be infected in the blight. She has to call like her ex-boyfriend over to come help her because her parents left and they aren't back yet. There's like a curfew. It's got a little bit of like a dystopian element. Lauren Fortgang is the narrator and she is so freaking good, especially at these like anxiety inducing books. But it has a lot to do with like farming and plants, and it's really intense, like so intense, like so much has happened and it's very visual. I will say in the beginning of the book, her dog shows up and her dog has the blight and has for a while. And so she hasn't like killed the dog because she thinks that part of her is still in there, but she just stays away from her and like kind of feeds her occasionally when she comes in. So I'm hoping the dog doesn't die. That would be like my only qualm with the book, but it's really good. It's like a horror as well. I think it's also young adult. I don't think I've read anything else from this author, and I'm gonna need a copy based on how it's going because it is so freaking intense. Like, I don't know how to explain to you guys. It's not gory or truly terrifying, but there's just like energy to the book and the writing and Lauren's narration. So I'm having the best time once again. So then I started 2 physical reads. I'm just gonna kind of roll with this new energy and hope that it keeps up. So I started the Herbal Handbook. This one doesn't have an author. I think it's done by like New York Magazine or something. I got this one at Five Below last year. I'm loving it. So it's just literally going through in alphabetical order and talking about different herbs. There's like a picture of the herb, how to grow it, the usage, and then facts, but also like talks about the native elements, and I'm really liking it. The beginning of the book, there's this little quote. It says, if one wants to believe in magic, one might do well to begin with the study of herbs. I feel like that would be such a good start to a novel. So it just literally is going through all the herbs and there's pictures, and then at the end of it, there's like a recipe. Pretty familiar with most herbs, but there's a couple in here that I didn't know about. So I need to read more nonfiction like this, especially about gardening and plants, because I enjoy it so much. And then I started The Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. I had a hard time starting a physical read because they all have really good audios, but I didn't have the audio for this one yet, and it's so short that I thought I could just like plow through it. So I am already 50 pages in. It's only 200 pages. It's going a little bit the way I expected. In the beginning, it was so captivating, like the first chapter. There's like this bookshop that shows up. There's this mysterious girl and her cat, and they read through a book together, and there's like magical elements with this cherry blossom tree. And then the next chapter, we're following this woman who has just recently lost her mother, and she has a lot of regret and anxiety around it because she didn't spend as much time with her as she wanted, and her mother was only in her 60s, and she's having to deal with all the funeral arrangements on her own because her brother is like out of the country, and she's going through her mom's stuff, and it's kind of depressing, not horribly depressing, and I'm hoping that it will get back to the magical elements. I'm thinking she's gonna find something at the bookshop that's gonna like give her answers. But it's so far it's reading a little bit like Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is beautifully written. It's a great book, but it has a lot to do with like grief and sadness and kind of overcoming it. I wouldn't say this feels heavy. I just want more of like the magicalness of the book than I do of the sad parts. And so far we're about 50-50. The writing is really good though, and it's short. So I'm gonna get through it really, really fast. I love the cat in here as well. He's super cute. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of these little like translated books tend to have like this such magicalness, like the Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and then there's like the Elsewhere Express, a bunch of other ones that have been coming out recently, and they all have these really cool magical things about them, like a train taking you somewhere or a magical hotel. They almost always have to do with like grief and heartache, and I don't always want that in a book. It has to be done in a particular way. So we will see. I wouldn't call this like a complete cozy read for that reason. It is, but just know there's like grief and death and loss of a parent. That's what's going on. Today we're doing something fun. There is a new bookstore that's opened up like 35 minutes from me. They opened up last year, and it's called the In Bloom Books or Bloom Bookery or something. I'll put the name here. And it's like a romance girly themed bookstore with flowers and stuff. So I thought it would be perfect to go and check it out. So my mom and my sister are going to meet me there. We're going to go to the bookstore. We're going to go eat, and then we might go to the mall as well today. We're having a little bit of a chill day today, and then finishing our work like later on. Those are the plans. I was hoping this readathon is kind of helping bring me back to life. I don't know, just plants and flowers. I'm just like loving it so much. So that's what's going on, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh wait, no. Sorry, one more thing. I bit the bullet, and I finally went and got The Faraway End. So if you didn't know, this is Sarah Beth Durst's newest book, but it is a YA book. It is not connected to Enchanted Greenhouse and Spell Shop and all that kind of stuff, but it is still a cozy book, and this is the hardback edition. It's exclusive to Target. I pre-ordered this, but I think their pre-orders don't work when you do the buy two get one free, because they canceled it, because by the time the book comes out, the sale is no longer in place. So it's a whole thing. So I went and finally just picked it up because I've heard that they have to do a bunch of gardening in here to get this inn fixed up. I'll read the synopsis once I start it, but I think we're going to do it for the readathon because I love Sarah Beth Durst, and it just seems so magical and perfect. So that's what's happening. Okay, now let's get going. nice harvest. Good morning. Happy day 5. So it's 10 a.m. on Friday. I'm getting ready to go. I need to get groceries for today. I think we're going to go to Target and Trader Joe's, but we're also going to stop by a really pretty garden center. There is like a tulip farm that does an event for about 6 weeks where tulips bloom, and they have an Armstrong Garden Center, but it's like the superior one. Like there's decor and all kinds of cool stuff. It's like twice the size of a normal one. So we're gonna go look at some plants and some plant themed things and hopefully go on our walk/hike today and then get our groceries. So that is the plan for today. Great news, I haven't finished another book yet. However, I am just loving everything and it's all so good. Okay, so I'm continuing on with my buddy read of this. I am so into this, you guys. I am a little over halfway and we're figuring out like what the deal is with the plants. I'm not going to spoil it, but the things that we're uncovering in here are not what I thought, and I'm just loving where it's going. The audiobook's really good and I'm just enjoying the characters and the mysteries, and the writing is good. Like I'm liking this one more than the first one that I read of hers, so I need to get her second book because I don't have that one, and Amy Goldsmith is becoming like a must read. I'm almost halfway in What We Harvest and you guys, it is so good. Again, we're figuring out the reasoning for the blight is just not what I expected at all. It is so cool. This is becoming one of the most unique books I've ever read. I am going to give you a warning that I am going to spoil what happens to the dog in this book, at least whether it lives or dies. I know it's like a zombie dog, but there's a lot to do with the dog. The dog gets brought up a lot. Because of the loss of my puppy in December, I'm like even more sensitive to this. So if you don't want to hear me spoil whether the dog dies or not, just skip anytime you see this picture up in the video. But right now the dog's alive. I'm fine with it staying a zombie dog. So hopefully he doesn't die, because she is talking about how it was like a runt and it used to sleep on her chest and she would like hand feed it, and like she was just loves it and she can't kill it even though it's technically partially zombie-ish now or blightish or whatever. I'm loving this book so much. The romance is really fun. It is incredibly fast-paced, so interesting. I love the farm setting. I'm loving the like somewhat magical elements of it combined with like the horror, thriller, zombie-ish parts. I'm just like along for the ride. Lauren Fortgang is amazing. This audio is so good. I just ordered a copy off of Pango, a great place to get used books like I talk about. I have a code I will put here and down below. You can get $5 off your first order. It's all individual booksellers and they'll mail you like little extra stuff with the books, and like it's just, it always comes like a special package. It's so fun. But I got this one for $6 because she was selling it for $2 and shipping was $4. So hopefully this will come before I have to take my like wrap up photo. Having a great time. I have not physically read anymore. Yesterday I was outside like all day almost, and you can kind of hear me. I'm like very nasally and allergy-ish, and so sometimes I kind of crash around like 9 p.m. and I just don't have the brain power to physically read. But we're gonna physically read later when I get home. I have a lot of plans for today because tomorrow we're gonna be kind of busy, so we'll see what we can get done. I will show you anything that's flower related at the plant store and at Trader Joe's because I think they have some flower themed stuff as well. Oh, and yesterday we had a great time. Like we went to the In Bloom Bookery. If you're in Temecula, California, put that on your bucket list. It's super cute. There were so many books I wanted to get, and they had all of this cute merch with like hats that had books on them and bags, and it was just laid out really nicely. So I'll have to do an event there sometime. We had a really nice lunch. We got some matcha for the way home, and yeah, it was just like a really fun girls' day. So that is my update for now. Let's go do some shopping and some listening on the drive. Okay, my plans have changed slightly. I'm at the garden center. It is crazy because everyone's trying to get into the Tulip Festival, which I did in last year's reading vlog for week 2 for the flower readathon. It's really cool. But the Armstrongs connected to it, and so everybody's like trying to park over here even though they're not supposed to. So Jeff just called me and said he's coming home early because his brother's coming in town and he's like worried that he's going to want to come see our house. I don't think that's going to happen because it's going to take him like over an hour and a half to drive from where they are. But he wants to like clean up more than we normally would just in case. So he just called me and told me he got off, and I was like, ugh, I wish I would have known because I already came up here. So I'm gonna go and just go to the garden center, show you guys everything, and then I'm gonna go home and we're gonna go grocery shopping together and get lunch. So plan change. Good morning. We are checking on the garden this morning. I'm having some gopher issues, but overall things are looking pretty nice. They're starting to come up. Berries are looking really good. Zucchinis and onions. Strawberries. Look at my blueberries. This is my new cabbage mug. Very excited. More berries. This tree that I hope will come back to life. So I'm going to go pick a couple things because it's going to rain today. It's going to rain a whole bunch. I do have a couple flowers. We've got this rose. I may come get some rainy flower pictures after it rains today. It's supposed to rain for like 3 hours, which is really good for the garden, but we'll see. Happy May. So Sunday, the last day of the first week of the flower readathon. Jeff and I had a lovely day. We went to a flower themed cafe. I listened to my audiobook and I was loving it, and I was meal prepping and doing all these things. And then Jeff came into the kitchen sobbing, and we found out that we had a death in the family, and his family in particular. And it was very unexpected and it was horrible. And we wound up having to jump in the car on Monday and drive home to Kansas City, which is like a 24-hour drive. And we wound up staying for 2 weeks because we were helping the family deal with some things on his family farm. And then we had to drive home. And so, of course, my whole thing got completely derailed. And at first I was going to continue vlogging, and as messed up as that sounds, just to give my brain something to do so that I wouldn't be like in too dark of a place. And I figured with our drive and with me being there and not having as much to do as Jeff did, I would have lots of time to read and stuff. But it was such a whirlwind, and it was so hard that I stopped after like a couple days. It just felt weird too. So anyway, I continued to post and everything because I had already had things scheduled, and I did finish my last book for the readathon. But unfortunately, as wonderful as this readathon went for the first week, life just happened and we had to take care of our family and each other. So I am going to show you guys like the rest of the today's photo challenge photos. I may show you some clips of some garden centers and things that we got to visit while we were there, and also like on the drive home, because we took our time coming home as like kind of like a healing thing. So I may show you some of those clips, but I wanted to just wrap this up because I want to keep this channel light and fun. Obviously, life happens and there are dark things in our life, but I try to keep this channel as a place where you guys can go and escape and have fun, and I don't get too personal. There kind of wasn't a way around that this time. So anyway, I had a good readathon for the first week. So I read A Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poisons. This was a 1920s like murder mystery, lots to do with plants and poison, and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like almost a 4. I finished the Herbal Handbook. This was one I found at Five Below. I think there's like an updated hardback version all about different kinds of herbs. It has pictures and there are recipes. I really loved it. This is such a great like in the car read if you're looking for something that will get you off of your phone. It's got just enough information without being too in-depth and some fun recipes. I gave it a 5 just because nonfiction. And then I had 2 fantastic reads. So I read Predatory Natures, and I think I finished this one on Sunday. I loved it so much, you guys. It was so good. It was one of the most unique and wild books I'd ever read. Our main character is working on this train, and these mysterious people are there, and there's these creepy plants, and she doesn't know what they're for, and there's this mysterious boy, and then you're also getting her backstory on like a toxic romance that she had in her past that is kind of paralleling things happening in the current timeline. It is gothic, it is creepy, it is incredible. It did not end the way I expected at all, in like the best way. So I gave that one 5 stars. And then I finished What We Harvest by Amy Freystadt. I finished this one in the car on the way there, and this was also a 5. Thank goodness for 5-star books. Also truly incredible and like one of the most unique things I have ever read. So this one's a little bit more of a horror. It's definitely more like scary and creepy, not like too much, but more than normal. We are following our main character whose family runs a wheat farm, and there is this blight that is happening that is taking out all of their crops and also seems to be turning people into like zombie-like creatures, and they are supposed to like not go into the woods and not come in contact with the blight because it's really dangerous. And we're following her like right away. She's trying to like get rid of the blight in her wheat field, and it seems like she may be in contact with it. But they have like magical crops. So this wheat is like a rainbow crop, and it produces this magical like rainbow bread when they make it that has like different flavors. And then the neighboring farm has these magical melons that will help with like anxiety and depression. and another farm has like really strong animals, and you're uncovering that, dealing with her and her like ex-boyfriend / ex-friendship as they're trying to deal with this crazy blight thing happening. So it has a little bit of that like The Village vibe. But this went places I did not see coming. The ending was wild. There's a dog in this one that's like a zombie dog. Spoiler alert, he does not die. So this is a safe read for animal lovers overall. And I just thought it was so unique. Lauren Fortgang does the narration for this, and she is so good. She's one of my favorites. This is very anxiety inducing because Lauren's really good at doing that. And you are really kind of stressed while you're reading it, but like in the best way. And I just loved it. I will be recommending this as often as I can. Finished reads for the readathon. I don't really know how many of the challenges I hit. We're just not going to worry about that this time. It is actually currently hike-a-thon, so you will be getting your first hike-a-thon vlog tomorrow, I think. I'm doing the vlogs every 4 and 3 days. So I'm doing the first 4 days of the week and the last 3 days of the week in vlogs, so you're going to get them a lot sooner than the recent vlogs have been, just with how things have been going. I hope you guys had fun, even though I was not as present for the final week of the readathon. This is one of my favorite readathons of the year. It just makes me so happy to read like plant and flower books, and I'm very excited to do it next year as well. So let me know if you enjoyed this one, or if you're participating in hike-a-thon. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl if you haven't already. I hope you are having a wonderful year and that you are grasping your loved ones and enjoying the small things and appreciating as much as you can, because you really should. This life is hard, but it is also wonderful, and there are so many things to appreciate and so many people to love on. I appreciate you guys so much as well. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time on The Bright Side.